Linderhof Palace, the smallest castle of a fairy tale king. Why would a king spend an enormous fortune building a small, but unbelievably luxurious palace where almost no one was allowed to live? Why is King Ludwig II remembered as the fairy-tale king? And what secrets are hidden inside Germany's most magnificent small palace? The answers lie within Linderhof Palace, one of Europe's most beautiful royal residences, and the only palace completed during the lifetime of its owner, Ludwig II of Bavaria. Nestled in the picturesque village of Ettel in southern Bavaria, surrounded by forests, mountains, and peaceful gardens, Linderhof Palace may be the smallest of Ludwig II's three famous castles, but many historians consider it the most elegant and luxurious. Every room reflects extraordinary craftsmanship, artistic beauty, and the king's dream of creating his own private paradise away from politics and public life. King Ludwig II was born in 1845 and became King of Bavaria at only 18 years of age. Unlike most European rulers, he had little interest in politics or military affairs. Instead, he loved music, architecture, literature, and romantic legends. He admired the French King Louis XIV, known as the Sun King, and dreamed of building palaces that could rival the magnificence of Palace of Versailles. Ludwig II was also a devoted supporter of the famous composer Richard Wagner, whose operas inspired many of the palace's decorative themes. Mythology, medieval legends, and fairy tales deeply influenced the king's imagination, eventually earning him the nickname, the Fairytale King. The location of Linderhof Palace originally contained a simple hunting lodge owned by Ludwig's father, Maximilian II of Bavaria. Ludwig loved spending time there during his childhood. After becoming king, he decided to transform the peaceful location into a magnificent royal palace that reflected his artistic dreams. Construction officially began in 1874. The original hunting lodge was carefully moved several times while the new palace was built around it. Work continued for approximately 8 years, with the palace largely completed by 1882, although decorative improvements and landscaping continued for several more years. Historians estimate that the construction cost reached approximately 8.6 million gold marks, an extraordinary amount during the 19th century. Adjusted for modern purchasing power, experts estimate that this would equal well over $100 million today, although exact comparisons vary depending on the calculation method. Unlike Ludwig's larger castles, Linderhof Palace was fully completed during his lifetime. This makes it unique among his royal residences. The famous Neuschwanstein Castle and Herrenchiemsee Palace remained unfinished when Ludwig died, but Linderhof became the only palace where he could fully enjoy the luxurious world he had imagined. Although the palace is relatively small, containing approximately 54 richly decorated rooms, every chamber was designed with astonishing attention to detail. Gold leaf decorations cover ceilings and walls. Marble columns, crystal chandeliers, carved wooden furniture, silk fabrics, porcelain collections, paintings, and handcrafted sculptures create an atmosphere of extraordinary elegance. One of the palace's most spectacular rooms is the Hall of Mirrors. Ludwig often spent evenings there alone. Hundreds of mirrors reflect candlelight in every direction, creating the illusion of endless space. At night, the room appears almost magical, as thousands of reflections fill the palace with shimmering light. Another masterpiece is the magnificent king's bedroom, decorated with deep blue fabrics, golden ornaments, elaborate carvings, and an enormous royal bed beneath a richly embroidered canopy. Many visitors consider it one of the finest royal bedrooms in Europe. Perhaps the most unusual attraction at Linderhof is the famous Venus Grotto, an artificial cave built inside the palace gardens. Inspired by one of Richard Wagner's operas, the cave featured one of the world's earliest electric lighting systems, long before electricity became common in private buildings. Colored lights illuminated the cave, while an artificial lake allowed Ludwig to travel in a small golden boat, as music from Wagner's operas echoed through the cavern. In the 19th century, this was considered an incredible technological achievement. The palace gardens are equally breathtaking. Inspired by French Baroque design, they feature perfectly symmetrical flower beds, ornamental fountains, sculptures, terraces, waterfalls, and tree-lined avenues. The central fountain is particularly impressive, capable of shooting water nearly 30 meters into the air, making it one of the tallest historic palace fountains in Europe. Throughout the gardens, visitors also discover several charming pavilions, including the Moroccan House, the Moorish Kiosk, the Music Pavilion, and the Hermitage, where Ludwig occasionally withdrew for complete solitude. Each structure reflects the king's fascination with different cultures and artistic styles. Ludwig II preferred privacy over public life. He often stayed awake throughout the night and slept during the day. Many official meetings were cancelled because the king preferred spending time reading, listening to music, or walking alone through the palace gardens. His unusual lifestyle caused growing concern among government officials and members of the royal court. Eventually, Ludwig's enormous spending on castles and artistic projects created financial difficulties for the Bavarian government. In 1886 he was declared mentally unfit to rule and removed from the throne. Only a few days later, he was found dead under mysterious circumstances in Lake Starnberg, together with his psychiatrist. To this day, historians continue debating whether his death was an accident, suicide, or murder. The mystery remains unsolved and continues to fascinate people around the world. Many legends surround Linderhof Palace. Some visitors claim the Hall of Mirrors feels strangely mysterious after sunset. Others believe the palace still carries the lonely spirit of the Fairytale King, whose greatest wish was simply to escape reality and live inside a world of beauty, music, and imagination. Over the years, Linderhof Palace has welcomed members of royal families, political leaders, historians, artists, architects, and millions of tourists from every continent. Its spectacular interiors have also appeared in numerous documentaries and television productions about European history and royal architecture. Today, approximately 500,000 to 600,000 visitors explore Linderhof Palace each year. During the summer season, thousands of tourists arrive daily to admire its magnificent interiors and beautifully landscaped gardens. A tourist planning to spend one day visiting Linderhof can expect to spend approximately €15-20 for an entrance ticket. Hotel accommodation in the surrounding area typically costs between €100 and €250 per night, while meals usually range from €20 to €60 per person. Transportation from nearby cities such as Munich generally costs €20-50, depending on the method of travel. Overall, a comfortable one-day visit usually requires a budget of €180 to €350, while luxury travelers may spend significantly more. To appreciate the uniqueness of Linderhof Palace, imagine a residence where nearly every ceiling sparkles with gold, where mirrors multiply candlelight into thousands of reflections, and where a 19th-century king created an artificial cave illuminated with electric lights decades before such technology became widespread. The palace's interiors rival the elegance of the Palace of Versailles, while its gardens represent one of the finest examples of European landscape design. Today, Linderhof Palace remains one of Germany's greatest architectural treasures. Although it is the smallest of Ludwig II's royal residences, many visitors believe it is also the most beautiful. It tells the remarkable story of a king who valued art more than politics, imagination more than power, and beauty more than wealth. More than a century after his mysterious death, the Fairytale King's dream continues to inspire millions of visitors who come to experience one of Europe's most enchanting palaces. Subscribe to the channel and like the video.